Coffee is one of the most consumed beverages in the world. Some people drink it once a day, some people drink it 5 times a day. Today, we're talking about what coffee is actually doing to your brain, and some of it might surprise you. If we haven't met, I'm Myriam. I'm a scientist, and I love talking about the science behind how we feel and heal. I love coffee. We carefully select our beans. We grind fresh every time. We temp, we brew, we add a little honey, and enjoy the mystery of a beverage that, since discovered, became the cherished moments of most human on earth. In reality, almost anything that exists can work against you if you push it too far. Coffee is no different. The problem is not the coffee itself. The problem is our relationship to it, when and how much of it. This is not a video telling you to quit coffee. This is a video about understanding what it's actually doing inside your body so you can make smarter decisions about the things you already love. Most people think caffeine gives the energy. In fact, it doesn't. What it actually does is block a molecule called adenosine, a chemical your brain produces every single hour you're awake. The longer you stay awake, the more adenosine builds up. And the more it builds up, the stronger signal your brain sends to your body asking it to slow down, rest, and sleep. Caffeine fits into the exact same receptors adenosine is supposed to bind to. It doesn't replace adenosine, it just sits in the parking spot, so adenosine can bind to it and do its job to make you tired. You still have the biological signal of I'm tired because adenosine is still accumulating in your body the more you're awake. You just can't feel it anymore because you drank coffee. Because caffeine is blocking the receptor, preventing adenosine from sending the signal to your brain that you have to stop and rest. And this is why so many people wake up exhausted even after a full night of sleep, why you feel foggy until that first cup kicks in, why you get headaches on the days you skip coffee, why you feel anxious and wired but can't focus, why your energy crashes at 2 p.m. like clockwork, why you need coffee to feel normal, to feel good, to feel social. None of that is just how you're built. That is just adenosine debt accumulating throughout time and days. And when the caffeine clears, all that adenosine that was accumulating in your body is just floating and waiting and floods all at once. That's not you crashing because caffeine wore off. That's your body collecting what you owe. Every cup is a loan, and your biology is a very patient lender. Finally, adenosine can bind to its receptor and send the right signal to your body. Quick pause. Based on my analytics, the majority of you watching aren't subscribed yet. So if you want more of this, take a second to subscribe, and thank you so much. Your body already has its own stimulant system. It's called cortisol. And it was doing this job long before coffee existed. Every morning, within 30 to 45 minutes of waking up, your cortisol spikes naturally. It's called the cortisol awakening response. Your body's built-in system alarm, sharpening focus, raising alertness, and getting you ready to function properly. But most people wake up and immediately pour coffee on top of it. And that's where collisions happen. You're not adding energy to an empty tank. You're flooding a system that was already firing. And instead of feeling more alert, you end up wired and foggy, which most people interpret as needing more coffee. You didn't need more. You need to let your own system do its own job first. Some experts suggest waiting 90 minutes after waking before having your first coffee. That window allows your body to naturally clear any residual adenosine from the night before and lets your cortisol peak do its job without interference of waking you up and getting you ready. You're working with your biology instead of colliding with it when you wait 90 minutes before drinking your first sip of coffee. And this is actually amplified for people who are already running on chronic stress. When your stress response is already overworked for months or for years, your cortisol curve stops looking normal and it becomes dysregulated. So sometimes low when it should be high and high when it should be low. So it's not working with your natural rhythm. And caffeine doesn't fix that curve. It just hides it while making the underlying dysfunction even worse. So you feel like you need coffee to function because without it, the dysfunction becomes visible and coffee isn't the solution. It's just a band-aid. And if you recognize yourself in this or wonder if this is you, I want to invite you to take the Burnout Quiz Index. The link is below. It takes less than a minute and it will show you exactly where your nervous system is right now and what it needs. Your brain is adaptive. When it notices that its adenosine receptors keep getting blocked, it does something very logical. It makes more receptors. So more receptors mean caffeine has to work harder to block them all. So the same cup of coffee that used to make you feel sharp and focused starts feeling like nothing, like maintenance, like you're just drinking it to feel normal. That's receptor downregulation. Your biology shifts its baseline to accommodate the drug you keep giving it. And now you need more just to get to zero. This is where the I can't function without my coffee feeling comes from. It's not that you love coffee so much, it's that without it, you're feeling the full weight of adenosine hitting receptors your brain built specifically to receive it. You didn't gain energy, you raised the floor of what exhaustion feels like. Caffeine in a healthy, well-rested, low-stress body is a very different thing than caffeine in a depleted one. If you're sleeping well, managing stress, and your cortisol curve is functioning the way it's supposed to, coffee is largely fine. Your body can handle alone. It has the reserves to pay it back. But if you're already running on poor sleep, chronic stress, blood sugar dysregulation, your body doesn't have those reserves anymore. You're borrowing from an account that's already overdrawn. And every cup you drink to get through the day is pulling you further from the recovery your nervous system is desperately trying to initiate. This is why two people can drink the same amount of coffee and have completely different experiences. One feels great, one feels wired, anxious, exhausted, and crashes at 2 p.m. It's not tolerance, it's just a body dysfunction. The more dysregulated your system already is, the harder caffeine will hit you. And the more you need it, the more damage it does to the system that was supposed to restore you. This is not a video again telling you to quit coffee. I drink coffee every single day. This is about recalibrating your relationship with it. And this is the easiest way to do it. First, timing matters more than amounts. Your cortisol awakening response peaks in that first 30 to 45 minutes after waking. Let it do its job. Push your first cup to 90 minutes after waking up. Push it as long as you can. Second, adenosine clears during sleep, so deep sleep quality matters. It is the only thing that actually pays back the debt caffeine defers. No supplement, no hack, no morning routine replaces what happens to your brain when you are fully rested and when you sleep well. If you're using coffee to compensate for poor sleep, you're not solving the problem, you're just covering it. Like we said earlier, it's just a band-aid. Third, if you feel like you can't function without it, that's information about your dysfunction. The exhaustion you're medicating with caffeine has a root: poor sleep, dysregulated cortisol, blood sugar swings, chronic stress. Coffee muffles the signal. It doesn't fix what's generating it. So take some time to audit habits and environment, identify the issue, and set real goals to fix the real issue. The goal isn't to drink less coffee. The goal here is to drink it when you want it, not when you need it. If any of this speaks to you, and if you recognize yourself in these symptoms, the afternoon crash, the foggy morning, the feeling that no amount of coffee is actually fixing the tired anymore, that's not a caffeine problem. That's a true signal that you have to pay attention to. And if you want to understand what your body is actually trying to tell you, I put together a quiz called the Burnout Quiz. It takes about 2 minutes and it gives you a real picture of where your nervous system is right now. I will leave the link in the description below. If this video made you think about your relationship with coffee differently, share it with someone who lives on the stuff. They probably need to hear this more than they know. Don't forget to subscribe. Watch this one next, and I'll see you in the next one.